Want to speak real Greek from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at GreekPod101.com.
In this lesson, we'll learn some of the most common greetings used in Greece. Είστε έτοιμοι? Are you ready? Ξεκινάμε, so let's start. The most used informal greeting is ya. Ya. Ya means hi, hello, or goodbye. We use it when we meet, but also when we leave. We should only use this greeting with friends or relatives. If you want to be more formal, you need to pay attention to the time of day. The most common phrase is kalimera. Kalimera. Literally, kalimera means good day. However, we may also interpret it as good morning or good afternoon. As a rule of thumb, we can use kalimera only during the daytime, from morning until early afternoon. During the late afternoon and evening, we say kalispera. Kalispera. Espera or spera is ancient Greek for the part of the day after sunset. So kalispera means good afternoon or good evening. Kalimera and kalispera are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. In this formal situation, Greek people use adio. Adio. Adio means goodbye. If you're leaving after around 8 p.m., you can say kalinichta, which literally means good night. Kalinichta. Finally, it is very common in Greek to use the informal hi we introduced in the beginning of this lesson as a parting greeting as well. Ya. Ya. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Greek. Let's review them all again. When greeting in an informal situation, we say ya. When greeting in a formal situation, we say kalimera or kalispera. When leaving in a formal situation, adio. When leaving in an informal situation, ya. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Chris's insights. In formal situations, Greek people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. On the other hand, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we kiss each other on both cheeks. Don't be afraid to do it with your Greek friends. It's normal. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Greek. There are only 2 sentences you need to do it, but first it is important to clarify that in Greek, there is a difference between formal and informal language. Let's first see how Greek people introduce themselves in an informal situation. Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή, χαίρο πολύ. Hi, I'm Chrissy, pleased to meet you. Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή, χαίρο πολύ. Start by saying γεια, λέγομαι, then say your name. Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή. Finally, say χαίρο πολύ. Γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή, χαίρο πολύ. And now let's see the same sentence in formal speech. Χαίρετε, λέγομαι Χρυσή Παπαδοπούλου. Χαίρο πολύ για τη γνωριμία. Hello, my name is Chrissy Papadopoulou. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Χαίρετε, λέγομαι Χρυσή Παπαδοπούλου. Χαίρο πολύ για τη γνωριμία. So what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at this together. Ya has been substituted with the formal greeting χαίρετε, Greek for rejoice. Λέγομαι Χρυσή has not been changed. Λέγομαι stands in both cases for my name is. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. So I said Χρυσή Παπαδοπούλου. Here, you would say your full name. Finally, there is one more change to the ending. We added the words για τη γνωριμία to the phrase χαίρο πολύ. In informal cases, we can just say χαίρο πολύ, literally, I'm happy or pleased. But in formal cases, it's good to add για τη γνωριμία, which is Greek for the acquaintance, or in this case, your acquaintance. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Greek is γεια, λέγομαι Χρυσή, χαίρο πολύ. The formal way to introduce yourself is χαίρετε, λέγομαι Χρυσή Παπαδοπούλου, χαίρο πολύ για τη γνωριμία. Now it's time for Chris's insights. Greek people usually shake hands when they meet someone, sometimes extremely vigorously. So accompany your introduction with your best firm handshake. And if you're not sure if you have to use the formal or the informal greeting, the informal greeting, χαίρο πολύ, is not considered rude. It is acceptable and used widely even in formal situations.
Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free? Just click the link in the description to get your free language gifts of the month.
In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Είστε έτοιμοι? Are you ready? Ξεκινάμε, so let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It is just one word, ευχαριστώ. Ευχαριστώ. Ευχαριστώ means thanks. When saying thanks very much, you just need to add πολύ. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Πολύ means a lot, so ευχαριστώ πολύ is like saying thanks very much. During the last lesson, we talked about both the informal and the formal way of speaking Greek. Ευχαριστώ is a casual way to thank someone. If you want to be more formal, there is another phrase you should use. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ or σε ευχαριστώ πολύ. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ or σε ευχαριστώ πολύ. Let's break this phrase down. The σε or σας before ευχαριστώ πολύ literally means you in the second person singular and the second person plural, which is the form used for being formal in Greek. In the plain ευχαριστώ there is no you included, but here we use it and make the phrase sound more polite. Depending on the formality of the situation, we will use σε or σας. How do you answer? It's easy. There are basically two different ways to do it. The first is τίποτα. Τίποτα. Τίποτα literally means it's nothing, but it is the equivalent of you are welcome. The other way to say you're welcome is the expression παρακαλώ. Παρακαλώ. Literally, this phrase means I beg or please, but it has become a common and polite way to respond to someone thanking you. So when someone says ευχαριστώ to you, we can simply reply with τίποτα or παρακαλώ. Now it's time for Chris's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use ευχαριστώ or σας ευχαριστώ πολύ, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Ευχαριστώ can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time.
First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
Ένας άντρας και μια γυναίκα μιλάνε. Πόσων χρονών είναι ο άντρας τώρα? Τα γενέθλιά σου είναι πολύ σύντομα.
Ναι, είναι μεθαύριο.
Πόσων χρονών θα γίνεις?
Γίνομαι 60 χρονών.
Συγχαρητήρια! Ας το γιορτάσουμε!
Σε ευχαριστώ πολύ. Είμαι πολύ ευγνώμων.
Πόσων χρονών είναι ο άντρας τώρα? Ένας άντρας και μια γυναίκα μιλάνε. Πόσων χρονών είναι ο άντρας τώρα? Τα γενέθλιά σου είναι πολύ σύντομα.
Ναι, είναι μεθαύριο.
Πόσων χρονών θα γίνεις?
Γίνομαι 60 χρονών.
Συγχαρητήρια! Ας το γιορτάσουμε!
Σε ευχαριστώ πολύ. Είμαι πολύ ευγνώμων.
First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
Ένας άντρας και μια γυναίκα μιλάνε. Ποιος ζει με τον άντρα?
Γιατί δεν έρχεσαι στο σπίτι μου κάποια στιγμή σύντομα?
Σε ευχαριστώ, αλλά αισθάνομαι λιγάκι νευρική. Θα ήθελα να μάθω περισσότερα για την οικογένειά σου πριν τη γνωρίσω.
Βεβαίως. Ο πατέρας μου είναι υπάλληλος γραφείου και το χόμπι του είναι το ψάρεμα. Η μητέρα μου είναι νοικοκυρά και είναι καλή στο μαγείρεμα.
Έχεις καθόλου αδέρφια?
Ναι, έχω μία μεγαλύτερη αδερφή και ένα μικρότερο αδερφό. Η αδερφή μου είναι παντρεμένη και ζει στο εξωτερικό. Ο αδερφός μου είναι μαθητής λυκείου.
Έχεις μια ωραία οικογένεια. Θα ήθελα πολύ να τους γνωρίσω όλους και να μιλήσω μαζί τους. Ποιος ζει με τον άντρα? Ένας άντρας και μια γυναίκα μιλάνε. Ποιος ζει με τον άντρα?
Γιατί δεν έρχεσαι στο σπίτι μου κάποια στιγμή σύντομα?
Σε ευχαριστώ, αλλά αισθάνομαι λιγάκι νευρική. Θα ήθελα να μάθω περισσότερα για την οικογένειά σου πριν τη γνωρίσω.
Βεβαίως. Ο πατέρας μου είναι υπάλληλος γραφείου και το χόμπι του είναι το ψάρεμα. Η μητέρα μου είναι νοικοκυρά και είναι καλή στο μαγείρεμα.
Έχεις καθόλου αδέρφια?
Ναι, έχω μία μεγαλύτερη αδερφή και ένα μικρότερο αδερφό. Η αδερφή μου είναι παντρεμένη και ζει στο εξωτερικό. Ο αδερφός μου είναι μαθητής λυκείου.
Έχεις μια ωραία οικογένεια. Θα ήθελα πολύ να τους γνωρίσω όλους και να μιλήσω μαζί τους.
When learning a new language, it's easy to think, I don't think I'm making any progress. What if I never reach my goals? We all get these thoughts from time to time. But are they worth being scared of? What are the fears language learners tend to have the most? And how can you learn to overcome them? Here are the top 4 language learning fears, according to our users. Number 1. I'm not good enough to start speaking yet. This is a pretty common fear or misconception that most learners have. Here's how you overcome it. The best way to get good at speaking is to start speaking from day 1. You need to open your mouth and just start talking. If you think you're not good enough, just focus on the lines you want to say. Number 2. I'm afraid I'll never be fluent. You've got to set small, specific goals. Make daily goals, like having just a 5-minute conversation. As these small goals add up, you'll be speaking more comfortably. Number 3. I'm not making any progress. There are 2 things you can do right now. Use the dashboard to track your progress. Our dashboard shows how much you've accomplished. Or try a harder lesson on our website. The lessons come with line-by-line translations, and the hosts explain everything. Now you can understand something you didn't minutes ago. Number 4. I'm afraid of not understanding anything I hear. This fear can occur when you hear advanced grammar and vocabulary and it just goes completely over your head. To beat this, simply read along with our line-by-line tool. It's the best way to instantly understand advanced conversations. Translations and scripts are right in front of you. For real-life situations, learn useful phrases such as, "Can you say it more slowly? I don't understand." There's nothing wrong with saying that you didn't understand something. So, these are the top 4 fears and how to overcome them. Luckily, we also have the perfect tools available to help you conquer your fears. Sign up for your free lifetime account, no credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Don't let your fears stop you. Start learning now.